Hey, blessings, 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 everyone. I am Elegance Champagne, founder of Abstract Thoughts. I'm a transitioned mind and VP with Minds Up with none other than the beautiful queen, Takiyah Diamond. Well, first of all, good morning, guys. Had a couple of technical difficulties earlier, but I'm basically going to wait for a couple of you guys to tune in. Hey, babe, I see that you tuned in. Just basically waiting for the rest of you guys to tune in. Basically, in the meantime, definitely wanted to just make sure that I basically followed through as I've been speaking about for the past couple of weeks, guys. Definitely this year, as I mentioned, consistency is the key. No matter what obstacles may come your way, don't look at them as problems, but look at them as challenges, because challenges are always meant to be overcome. So that's basically like where I still stand. And basically today I'm going to be doing a continuation as far as what I spoke about last week, as far as like governing your city of success, building your city of success, and then also policing your city of success. And this is part 2, and the title that I did put in the caption above was actually, is your quality of work, is it costing you your quality of worth? And this is something that I definitely want to kind of touch on briefly today. It's something that I've basically been seeing going on, like no matter where I go, no matter what city I go to or visit. It's just something that a lot of us can relate to. A lot of us may have had experiences in many different aspects. So number one that I'm going to speak to while you guys are tuning in is basically, as I mentioned last week, as far as having an architect, which actually helps design and basically takes the vision that a person has in their mind and they actually put it on paper to where a person can visually see it and help it manifest and come to fruition for those who may not really understand exactly what a person may be speaking of at times. So it's always good to have an architect that is very clear on what your vision is to help you have that established. And as I mentioned, the architect, you can have more than one architect when it comes to building and constructing anything, but especially when it comes to a city, it takes a team for you to have a successful city. And I'm speaking symbolically, a city of success is what I'm speaking of. You establishing and building your city of success. Last week I also spoke about as far as like the different roads, which I'm going to kind of talk about today, as far as the different roads that you have that gives people access to your city of success. Those roads are very symbolic to the different type of pace that you're actually trying to go after as far as when it comes in your life, such as, you know, in the city you have many different ways to travel, to commute, right? So excuse the background noise for right now. But you also must recognize that you do, let's give it a moment. And how, alright, I'm talking about policing as well. So one of the main things that I recognize as far as when it comes to cities, there's many different ways of commuting and entering and exiting when it comes to your city. And most people, you have the main roads that you can take, you have the parkway that you can take where you pay just like usually maybe $1.50 or like 50 cents, 75 cents, some places maybe like a few dollars or whatever. And then you also have the turnpike where you spend a lot more, but it allows you to maximize your time more effectively in case you're in a rush or you really have a really big business meeting you need to get to. It's better for you to take the turnpike versus you taking the main roads or even a parkway. The turnpike is usually the fastest way for you to get there if you're going to be driving. So speaking about roads, one thing that I've recognized is going through certain cities is roads are very important. And if your roads, and if you're running a city and your roads aren't up to top shape, if you don't have smooth roads, it can really hinder the businesses that is within that area, within that vicinity. It can hinder a lot of important people from wanting to come through to support your business. And the reason why I say that is, just imagine you having a very high-class luxurious car and you're driving down a road and the roads, they're not fixed. They have a bunch of potholes, but the cities that I've gone, like, they're not even considered potholes. They're like craters. As soon as you go in there, if you don't see it, your whole car, the whole bottom is just coming right off. And the reason why I say that is that really deters people from wanting to come to see and support your business, to see what you're about. And you can lose out a lot of business because people may not even want to sit there and take that chance of taking that road that you may have built, and they don't want to risk losing what they've paid their hard-earned money and what they invested in. And this is symbolic to when you actually have different roads and paths, ways of success in your life, and they're not repaired, you don't want to lose opportunity, because the quality of your roads can either allow you to have increase your opportunity of success for business, or it can decrease that. So that's why I say it's very important when it comes to just maintaining keeping the proper maintenance when it comes to your roads in life. Such as if you're not good in particular areas, right? Such as like while you're building the city, you want to buy cheap materials just to patch up a road. In other words, if there's an area in your business or something that you're trying to establish, and you see something broken, don't use like a quick fix. Like, you don't go to the dollar store and think you're just gonna buy some regular gravel or some dirt if they sell that, and think you're just gonna patch up the road right there and then call it a day. Say, oh well, it looks fixed, so it's fixed. No, because after a while, when people start traveling over that, depending on the weight of their car and the tires that they may have, it'll end up just tearing up the road and just digging and even making it worse. So you don't want to end up having a business where you may be trying to do something with networking or marketing, and you may not have like high quality forms of like equipment or whatever, and you're such as pictures. Pictures is one of the main things, like media, like digital media and stuff like that. You don't want to go and start marketing something if you don't have quality, because quality tells a lot about who you are. And I recognized earlier on the live, Takiyah, you was talking about your self-image, and if you don't have things of quality, if you don't have it at that moment, it can really affect how you may view your own self and view your own quality of work. And many people can misinterpret the effect and the quality of the business and the services that you have to offer. And better yet, if it's not your job to fix those roads, but it's your job to pay, in other words, delegating others who is more effective and efficient in that area, that's their profession, and you're not getting people who's really qualified for that type of work, you're going to end up reaping the destruction in the long run. You're going to start to see numbers starting to drop. And when it comes back to you, you start looking and doing a review as far as how you've done within this past week, this day, or even this month or year. You'll start to kind of misjudge yourself by thinking that it's something that you're doing wrong. And in other words, it may be because of the person you've assigned, that you've given that assignment to. But it can, if you're not paying attention and you don't have people to observe what's really going on, you will really misjudge yourself, and then you'll start to lose self-worth. You'll begin to lose like who you really feel that you are and who you truly are and deep down inside, because of the quality of work. So this message is really speaking about like the quality of work, the quality of your roads and of success in your life. Don't try to use quick fixes to fix things, or even not even to fix it. If you're building something, for instance, like houses, you don't want to use cheap materials to build a house, because depending on the environment, the elements will tear that apart as well. So these elements could be symbolic to you having a rough crowd that may come, and they may come to your business and your establishment, and they sit down in your chair or whatever like that. Your chair start breaking, or the carpet starts tearing when you have heavy traffic going through. People are gonna look at it that hasn't been there from the beginning. They don't see like, oh yeah, it looks nice. They just want to see the aftermath. Like, what the heck happened here? Like, this is a business. This is your establishment. Like, what are you doing with the money? Like, how do you call yourself a business if you don't have quality materials? So this is why it's important to have an architect to make sure you follow the proper protocol. Make sure you have people who are qualified with quality work that is assigned to the tasks that you have given them, because this will determine how much people really take you seriously. It's really important for you guys to just be mindful of this. So I mean, really at the end of the day, it's just speaking about quality. I've seen other businesses, and I'm speaking this even for myself. That's why I mentioned last week, I went on Amazon, went on Google and stuff, and I did research to find quality materials that I can use to help better perfect the business that I already have established, but to just increase it so I can increase numbers when it comes to generating this business. So when people see my work, they're like, you know what, that's quality work. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good you may be as a person, but if your marketing, your networking, your the things that you have to present, if it's not held at a certain standard, people will not want to have anything to do with you. And it's sad to say, because I've seen people recently that I'm associated with where I won't say they were bashed, but they were criticized because of the quality of work. The website is important, because the website is supposed to reflect your quality of business. That's one of the first places people go usually to see like if they're interested in your services. So I mean, yes, it's good to get things started, but after a certain period of time, you gotta upgrade. Like, you can't keep on just using just something small, low quality on a low budget and then think that's going to cut it in the long run. No. Yes, use what you have for the time being, but make sure you're investing. And if you need help with investment, speak around, ask people, listen, I'm working on this project. Is there any way that you can assist me? Because if you can assist me, listen, I may not be able to pay you right up front, but as I'm progressing, I will give you weekly or monthly or yearly payments. Establish a relationship. This is where relationships comes into play, where relationships is very important in establishing any business, especially your city of success. You want to have healthy relationships with the people that are residents in your city, because even those residents, they may have qualifications that you may not have that can help build your city to make it be more presentable for visitors. Now when you have that established, you will start to attract tourists. But you won't have tourists if you don't have something that's worth them coming to see like what you're about. So guys, if you're watching this, just make sure that if you're doing like videos, like motivational, inspirational videos, if you're just starting off, by all means, this doesn't apply to you. But what does apply to you is just make sure that you are trying to reach for something greater by giving yourself standards and even mapping out an agenda for you. Like, okay, this week I'm going to save this amount, I'm going to invest this amount to go towards the camera that you may need, the processors that you may need for your computers, the cameras, as I mentioned, even your vehicle. Like, after a while, you don't want to sit there and just, if you have like a used car, no offense to it, but if you know like it has a certain amount of mileages on it and it's starting to have problems, you may want to start investing in something that's going to allow you to get from point A to point B, no matter what season it is. Because sometimes you may be good, you're on seasons like the springtime, summertime. We all have great seasons in our lives. This is symbolic to our success as well. You may have great seasons in your lives that is one climate and stuff, and you're like, okay, you're good. But what happens when fall hits in your success, in your business? What happens when wintertime hits? Like, these are things that you have to understand, because now when the elements start to take place, there's going to be days if you had the proper tires or the proper type of gas or your oil change and stuff like that, and your car's always breaking down, you're going to miss opportunities by missing or being late or delayed to get to your meetings that you're supposed to be at. Because why? Oh, hello, the snow is kind of going to delay me. Is there a possible way we can reschedule? If you're working with quality people, they're not really going to accept that type of excuse all the time. They may make exceptions here and there, but learn your lesson from that point on and start investing in something that is more of quality. This is the same thing. Who is also doing your marketing for you? Are they using the proper words? Are they using the buzzwords that's going to attract people to you? I know myself. I may be able to write things out after I have that spark, but me initially, I'm still challenged with picking the right words to use that are really be eye catchers or ear catchers for people. So honestly, like, that's why I have an excellent partner that I have that really knows how to put together the words, the right words, and the right structure, and then also knows where to place the pictures and so forth, so it'll be presentable when I'm going to like a meeting or if I'm trying to present something to a person. So, I mean, at the end of the day, just make sure that you are utilizing your time properly. Make sure you're investing in the right areas of your business, of your city of success, as I'm speaking about. Just make sure that you guys, definitely, you already know, that's a kid, that's why I do have you. That's why I tell people, don't be ashamed. If you're not good in a particular area, it's better for you to admit what you're not good at and hire a person who is good at what you're not good at doing, So that way, your business or the real quality of services that you have to offer isn't just destroyed or whatever word you want to use. Basically, that end up hindering your success or your growth. You want to just make sure that you actually have someone there, not even just one person. Have a group of people, because it may be something that somebody else may have heard from a different culture. Because culture is very important too. Depending on the culture, they may have to be fluent with certain terminologies that they use. I'm very scientific when it comes to speaking about certain things, but I also had to learn how to simplify things and give people understanding through different analogies. That's why the whole movement that I have with abstract thoughts of a transition mind, it's very very important for people to understand what it is. Like, abstract is basically based on ideas and things that are just from all over the place, and it may not seem like it has anything to do with it, but when you bring it together collectively, you'll be able to see the image. And that's why I talk about elements, whether it's the elements from the periodic table of elements like hydrogen, nitrogen, helium, and so forth, H2O. Many of you know that that's a combination of elements, and it's what gives us life. It's what anything that's living needs, that particular element, which is water, H2O, hydrogen, and oxygen. You need that. And that's why I tell people in relationships is important. Listen, guys, if they have a conscience to know how to effectively partner and establish relationships with other elements that is going to be beneficial for us ourselves, us living human beings, and then also the materials that we use, then we ourselves need to basically take that blueprint. Because at the end of the day, God is the architect. God, the Most High, is the architect of how He established these elements and showed us that it all started with relationships and then the quality of work. One thing about elements, whether we're talking about elements from the periodic table elements or seasonal elements, earth, wind, fire, air, or elements from music such as sound, vibration, rhythms, notes, tunes, pitches, and all those type of things, or food like culinary arts, such as like you have plants, you have your meats, you have your dairies, and so forth. These things are very important, and they all have to know how to have a relationship and a balanced relationship if you want to have a good sound quality when it comes to music or sound. Image quality, such as like the lighting, or culinary, such as the taste and the texture of the food, temperature as well. These things are elements, and they show us reflections of relationships, and God has put that there for us to be able to follow after. So guys, know who your architect is. Understand that we are also co-creators. We are given opportunities to be able to establish these relationships, to get the quality materials. And what I was speaking about with these elements, an element is the simplest building block of matter. It's the simplest form of anything. It's the simplest form of anything that you can break down. So if you break something down to its original state, to the elemental state of it, and you start from there, as your building progressing, you'll see the quality, the strength, the consistency, and it'll also outlast time if it's put together the right way. We all know what fool's gold is, right? You can have a type of metal, copper, or whatever like that, have it nicely polished and whatever, and give it that gold look. But after the elements take effect, after it's put to the test and trials, in other words, if you're claiming to be one of the best music artists, speakers, filmmakers, or whatever it is, and you're not using quality material, it's going to show in the long run, because people may have technology that can break down, and when you start to see the type of the technology that they use, the devices they use, it'll be exposed eventually. One thing I noticed about with pictures, if you're taking pictures with like a low budget quality camera or whatever, and you put it on HD or whatever the latest one that they have that's out, and you use that and you try to zoom in, like you ever tried zooming in and it kind of starts to be distorted, it starts to be a little blurred, you're like, yo, I can't use that. Like, I'm trying to put your name and your picture on a billboard or on a big screen, and when I go to put it on a big screen, you look all fuzzy and stuff. Like, you don't want to look fuzzy to people. You don't want to look blurred to people. You want people to see the sharpness of your words, the eloquent words that you use in your speeches. You want to look high class. You want to look luxurious. You want to look quality. You want to look like money, in other words. So at the end of the day, guys, just understand money, energy, investing, having quality work is very important. Whether you're applying it to the roads in your city, whether it's applying to the building materials that you're using to build your businesses, your facilities, whether it be the materials that you're using for your digital files, for marketing, for when you're posting things online, for your websites, social media, whatever, guys, just make sure that you're using quality. If you're not using it now, start investing, start making wise decisions, and start investing in your new year. The new year, the new you, everybody says it, but really start taking action, start taking the steps. And no, you're not by yourself. There are tons of people and tons of resources that can help you have strong roads, that can handle a tractor trailer, bringing in your merchandise, your products, your high quality materials to your business, to your facility, to the building that you have established. You want to make sure that your roads can handle the pressure. Make sure your roads can handle the pressure for when you're having distributors bringing in, when you have investors coming in with your luxurious high maintenance cars. Make sure that your storefront, your building looks to the tip-top shape, that people, it's inviting, they want to come in. When they come in there, they smell the sweet aroma, they see the beautiful ambience of your business. Same thing with yourself. Make sure that you yourself look like you're quality and be quality. So guys, I just want to thank you guys that did tune in. Let this be like a word of advice, guys. Just make sure you guys are taking action in this new year. I'm making sure that I'm doing my part on my end. Shout out to Queen Mother for the tag team transformational team. The team that is there, guys, you guys did awesome. You guys are doing an amazing job. Thank you guys so much, because you guys inspire me as well. And you guys also help me find areas in my life that I need to actually tweak and tune up as well. You guys are awesome, man. I just want to share that love to you guys. But guys, definitely share this live, share this video, and just make sure, guys, that you guys are being productive. Make sure you're being proactive. Make sure that you have insurance when it comes to your quality of work, because at the end of the day, if something goes wrong with any of your materials, God forbid, or your devices and stuff, make sure you have a backup, because insurance is very important. That's a whole nother topic. We have people who specialize in that for tag team transformational team, also for the Minds Up team, also for the Abstract Thoughts of a Transition Mind team. We have people who actually specialize when it comes to insurance policies and so forth. So guys, just know it takes a team. You are not by yourself. It's not meant for you to do this by yourself, but it is meant for you to make sure that you continue to be inspired and seek out those that can inspire you. But you guys want to make sure that you do inspire yourself. Just as Takiyah said in her video earlier, make sure that you have a high quality in your own self-image, because your self-image, if you feel good about yourself, it is fact that other people will gravitate towards you, because they'll be attracted to that positive feel-good energy. And I get this a lot, and it's not brag anything. It's just praise and glory to God, and just taking ownership. And you know what? Take ownership in who you are. You have quality. You are quality. You are quality. But make sure you let it be known. Make sure that it's not distorted by the low quality things that you are using. The low quality investments. Don't do that, guys. This year, start off strong. As I mentioned, the number 8 in 2018, number 8 represents change, new generation. Let this be a change in your life. Then also, you want to speak about change? You look at the number 8, it's symbolic to the infinity symbol. If you guys ever saw that infinity symbol that goes like that, it looks like an 8. It's just like stretched out a little bit. But that right there lets you know that change is infinite. Change will always keep happening. So don't get so comfortable and settle and just think we have everything and that's it. No, if you were to sit there and think that way with the technology that we had back then, and we try to apply it to now, we'll really be outdated. So just make sure that you're updated. Make sure you guys do change. Seal stay confident, stay inspired. Seal it and stay confident and stay inspired. Be transparent, guys, because you can't expect to receive help if you're thinking and acting as though you have it all together. We don't have it all together at the end of the day. We're striving for that. And that whole term people say, I'm not perfect. I want you guys to understand, perfect, when you actually do your studies and you study the language, because I study apologetics and theology and so forth, perfect technically means, in those contexts, it means maturing. That's what perfect means. It means maturing. So when next time you hear a person saying, I'm not perfect, anytime a person says that, I kind of look at them in a sense, but I don't criticize them in a negative way. I just enlighten them and educate them. You know, don't say that you're not perfect, because when you say that you're not perfect, first of all, words have power. And when you say I'm not, the key word, I am, anything you say I am, you're taking ownership on. You're putting on that suit, and whatever it is that attracts it or whatever it consists of, that's what you're going to project. So when you say I am not perfect, you're saying I'm maturing. I am not growing. That's what you're saying. So switch up your language. Language is powerful. Language is key. Whether it be business, networking, marketing, branding, language is key. So stop saying I am not perfect, but start saying you know what? I'm maturing. Don't use that as an excuse anymore. Just start saying I'm maturing, I'm growing, I'm getting there. With that being said, guys, thank you all for tuning in once again. Happy Transformational Tuesday for the tag team transformation to Queen Mother. Also, Minds Up with Takiyah Diamond. Love you, babe. Thank you for your support through everything, and thank you for helping me get to where I am now. You were such a great asset. It is always good to have a strong team and valuable assets in life. That's one thing, guys. As I said, it takes a team, and it takes a team. And once again, I am Elegance Champagne, founder of Abstract Thoughts of a Transitioned Mind, VP with Minds Up, and also part of a phenomenal transformational tag team, Queen Mother. So guys, if you haven't checked out the page, make sure you do check out the page, the tag team, transformational team, the Minds Up page, and also the Abstract Thoughts of a Transitioned Mind. You can also follow me on YouTube at Elegance Champagne. You can sign on YouTube at www.abstractthoughtsonline.com. Also, guys, just thank you guys for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you guys later on throughout the week, and also seeing you guys back for next Tuesday, guys. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Love you guys much. Be inspired. 2018. Let's make this worth it. Let's bring about change. Let's start off and finish strong and continue. Let's keep it moving, guys. Love you guys. Blessings.